Good evening, and thank you very much for tuning in. This evening, I thought I would very quickly make this live stream for two reasons. The first reason is to prove the point or show the point, to illustrate the point or demonstrate the point that sometimes you need to just turn away, have a break, and then just come back to it because what happened here this morning was I was looking at this and I was thinking, I'm not sure, blah, 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 blah. And then throughout the day, I was thinking about this and I was thinking, do you know what? I think I know how I want to resolve this. So I've come back to it to try and resolve it. So I've been thinking about this area here. So when you look at it here, you've got this little kick up, or otherwise known as a volcano. And the reason for this is on the real car, it's to do with, is it to do with aerodynamics there? Is that why that kick up is there? But anyway, it kind of makes sense. It washes out towards the sides, and it makes sense, and it's a nice, interesting design feature, and everything is cohesive. Whereas on here, it just washes out underneath there, so it doesn't really make sense. So what I was thinking is, how about we get rid of that kick and we just go straight up and flush at this point there. And that's exactly what we're going to do now. So let's do it. Let's get into it. Let's go. Right, so let's see. Is there a subdivision modifier on there? No, there is not. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to rebuild that so that it's sub D ready. So let's rename this one Bonnet Original. And let's find it. And then let's duplicate it and just rename this one Bonnet. Let's move this bonnet into a new collection, call it AB. Let's move that at the top and we can AB them. So let's go ahead and start to modify the topology of this so that it's more sub D ready. Right, so let's start by putting a subdivision modifier on there, and then we can just simplify the topology as I said. So what I'm doing here is just halving the edges where possible. So we probably need one in the middle here, so we can probably get rid of this edge loop here. Let's move that up so we can, let's move those across. So now we can select these. Let's slide these over, and then let's grab what's happened here? Something suspicious has happened here. So I don't know what we're doing. We're getting rid of this one. So we're going to use this one to give curvature, and this one has got a little kick towards the middle. So let's just, what's going on here? Why can't I slide that? Let's get rid of that one as well. Let's get rid of that, and maybe even these, and that, and that. Okay, so now, what was I doing? That one goes down there. I can go down there. Let's see how that looks. So we want, actually doesn't matter what we do on the top, we can do whatever we want. On the bottom, we need 3 there for that corner, or even 2 we can probably get away with. So this will be for this corner. Let's get rid of that one, oops, this is that funny that we, so we can get rid of the flange, delete that, and up here we can just raise those up so that they match over there, and then we can get rid of this edge and this one and the next one as well. So we're just going to go straight up like that, and then it's going to go into there, and that's going to work out beautifully and everything will be fine. We can all go home and relax. Okay, so we need to just simplify these as well. So we're going to just going to slide these up. Let's bring this one in and over like so. Let's bring this one over like that. Let's turn on keep corners. Okay, so that's not a corner. Let's slide those over. I think we've got a bit of a flange left on there, so let's get rid of that as well, because it's adding unnecessary data. So once we finished with our new edge, we can just rebuild that flange. So let's just grab these, slide them up. Okay, good. So as I was saying, over here we need 2 or 3 to give us that little kick. I wonder if we can get away with 2. Then we want a little bit of curvature on the front there. So we do need 3, but not because of that hook, that kick. Let's just move this one over. Let's just move those. All right, let's simplify this edge. So I'm just sliding those over, and I've got merge auto merge. It's funny how you forget these things. Auto merge is on. We can get rid of one of these as well for now, so we'll use that just to give us the concavity, and if we need another one we can just bevel that edge. Over here we need 3 for the corner, and this will be just a curved edge. Let's slide that down, slide that onto there, and slide that one. No, hold on, let's undo that. Okay, so that has got to be somewhere there, like that. Okay, good. Right, so now let's go back to simplifying these. So we need probably just the one there in the middle, just to give us some curvature there. This one we'll bring back here. And then the reason why we kept the original is so we can do it before and after. And it looks like we've lost a little bit of width there, I think. So we're just going to turn on wireframe. I'm just going to pull these out. And in side view, I'm just going to push them up. And I think I turned the wireframe off there. So let's turn it back on. And let's just get it back to roughly where we had it. Let's go up a little bit here and out like this, and this one, and these. So we're just matching that dark, that edge there with what was there before, like that. Okay, good. And now what we're going to do, let's see if we can simplify this any more. So So we can probably get rid of this edge as well, I think. And keep that one. Okay, good. Right, so what we're going to do now is, actually let's start with center line of car. So we've just grabbed these patches, isolate, grab that one, isolate that center one, and if we just drag this, drag that one up, this one to follow, this one, and this one just a touch. We probably don't want to move that one too much. Although, no, actually it doesn't matter. Okay. So that's what our center line is doing, more or less. Well, not more or less, that's what our center line is doing. Then let's grab the next ones along. So these ones want to be talking to those ones. So what we do is just make sure that they follow. So they're going to be tapering towards the front. So that gap there is going to be getting bigger towards the front, only a little bit, not too much. And let's pull that back. There we go. Let's turn those back on. And then what do we have? So we had a kick, we had an edge there, and then a volcano leading up to it. So these ones can still follow this. And this one, as before, we want a constant taper. There we go. And let's pull this one back a little bit, and then let's pull these back a little bit, and then these to follow. And then these are the last ones that are going to follow. These are going to follow these. Let's have a look in front view. Make sure that we've got nice flow. Make sure we flow. Slide those over a little bit like that. And then, yeah, as I said, these ones here are also going to be similar heights. So over here, let's have a look at front view. Does that one want to be doing that? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Okay, so I've just pulled that out a little bit, and this one out as well, and then in side view, there we go. Okay, so we've got the taper, looks like it's getting a little bit wider towards the bottom there, so let's do that. So narrowest here, getting wider, and then widest at the bottom. Probably not much difference there on that one, but as long as it's consistent, that's all good. And then in front view, we're just making sure that this is a nice curve as well, which I think it is. Yeah, this is so much better. So this is what it was doing before, and this is what it's doing now. As you can clearly tell, it's significantly better. It looks much better resolved, which means that we're going to be able to sleep better tonight. We don't have to worry about people laughing or mocking or sending you messages on social media saying, that doesn't look resolved, what's going on, what are you playing at, etc. Instead, people will be going, that's clapping, and we're saying, wow, you really did it there, that was great, and everything will be fine. So that's that. Let's just have a quick, actually while we're here, I noticed as well, while we're here, let's quickly fix the bottom there as well. So let's merge. So we either move this up or this down. I think we need to move this down. So let's join these two, and then make sure snapping is on, snapping to vertex, snap that to that. Let's slide that over. oops, slide that one over to there. Let's add, see if I move that over, is it gonna kick through there? Where is that wheel arch? It's in there. So what I'm considering doing is moving. It's interesting how the back is further in than the front. Usually the front wheel well is wider because the wheel turns obviously on the front. So yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Okay, what we're going to do here is just try and close up this gap. So this is just going to, so this is really just to give us a shadow in the wheel well and underneath the car as well. So the quality of this doesn't really matter, but you know, you have to have some level of self-respect. So it's got to look relatively okay. You can't just go willy-nilly. Do you know what I mean? It's got to look at least, oh, okay, yeah, that's not too bad. You know, not a big mess. Let me see what we're going to do here. So I think what we're going to do here is make a big mess. We're going to grab those, select that one, and we're going to merge at last. And then we're going to grab that one, make it join the party. Let's grab these, snap, oops. Grab these, snap to there, snap it to there, grab that one, snap it to there. Let's have a look what we're doing here. So these could all go like that, merge at last. Okay, and now we won't have any light bleeding in underneath there. So let's just have a quick look with the wheel on. And let's have a look at just very quickly. We grab that front wheel. I believe there is some camber on there already. That's okay. If we just grab, double click, just pull it out a touch. And let's just have a look, quickly shaded up. And as I said, that looks way, way better. Very nice. So tomorrow morning, what we're going to do is we're going to merge all this stuff here. We're going to add a little return on here just to give it a little bit of thickness, a little bit of realism. And yeah, as I said, this is just a very quick one. Just to fix that, because as I said, I wouldn't be able to sleep unless that was fixed, or at least I tried fixing that, and I think I've done a pretty good job there. So yeah, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for tuning in, and please tune in again. All the best. Thanks. Okay, bye.